Howdy, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Unexplored Mojave. Today we're going to be checking out the Virgin River. Now, this is kind of a weird video to make because the Virgin River is actually a very large feature of Honest Hearts and Zion Valley. And while the Virgin River is spread across all of Zion Valley, it does have a specific location on the Pip-Boy, kind of when two parts of the river reconverge from around an island. Now, I thought I would go ahead and make this video showcasing that location, the actual Virgin River location, but also showing off some other unmarked locations located along the banks of the Virgin River. So, let's jump into it. So, as I said before, the Virgin River is this large river that is all over Zion Valley. Now, this river makes it really easy to navigate Zion Valley, kind of creating this large middle section with several side sections. It was very helpful when finding locations for this part of my series. Now, at the actual Virgin River location, which is towards the beginning of the map, there is a sunken boat. At the bottom of the boat, you can find a skeleton, a first aid box with random chems in it, and a toolbox with other random loot in it. Also next to the skeleton is a combat knife, which is pretty good. When I was trying to leave the sunken boat, I had a bit of trouble getting out. This kind of was just jumping around, just trying to get out, and after a little bit of frustration, I was finally able to escape. I probably could have fast traveled, but I wanted to make sure I could get out of the boat, and yes, I could. But for that location, that's pretty much it. Just a sunken boat and a fast travel point on the map. Now, along the rest of the Virgin River, I encountered several enemies, especially whitelegs, who found ways to continuously attack me. But using my anti-material rifle, I was able to deal with them pretty easily from a distance. I think whitelegs are actually pretty darn tough. They have a lot of health, and sometimes they have really good weapons. Now, if you come over to this area next to the crashed airplane, I just found this kind of interesting cliff that you can actually climb up to. However, this cliff has no real purpose. I just thought it was interesting that this cliff is here on the edge of the world, and there's nothing here. Maybe it had larger intentions, maybe it's just, no thought was thrown into it. Now, a lot of this is also just swimming. Lots of fish, lots of water. And then near Windfall Docks is a small island with just a random rock and some honey mesquite on it. No real reason to throw it in here besides I forgot to mention this small island during my Fish Lodge video. Then if we move further up in the northeast corner of the Virgin River, we can find a hollowed out rock kind of near Clearwater Docks. Just in the far northeast corner, and not really much else. And I did find this really weird area where the texture is very low res and kind of just glitching out for whatever reason. Just thought I'd point it out just west of Clearwater Docks. And like I said though, a lot of the Virgin River, as I was exploring it, was just swimming and swimming. And then as I approached Cueva Garachi, which is a cave that I talked about in my Randall Clark video, I wanted to show an incident from a previous video. And then I also found these dead horses doing God knows what. They were just kind of running around in the river, and then one of them started like frickin' flying around, going up the cliff, and eventually I saw one of them go all the way to the top of the cliff over here, and he seemed to place something or take something from the edge of the cliff. Don't know what was happening, but I'm glad I experienced it. However, that location, I feel, is a location for another time. So when I made that video, I incorrectly thought that that cliff or that incident was related to Cueva Garachi. However, it is not. So I just decided I'd put it in this video because I didn't know where else to put it. And I wanted to ask you guys if you had any information on what is happening here. When I returned, I found more dead horses freaking out near this location, trying to climb the mountain. And I'm just really confused about what was happening, and I made my way to the top of this cliff. And at the top of the cliff here, you have this like bit of the mountain which jets out, and at the top there is a skeleton. And then I could throw the skeleton off, but I couldn't find anything up here. And in my previous video, the dead horses picked up or dropped off something at this location. I now assume that the dead horses were picking up something, but I don't know for sure, and I really couldn't find anything on the internet. Here's the location of the cliff just east of Ranger Station Offspray and northeast of Cueva Garachi. If you guys have any information about this location or why the dead horses in my game are freaking out near this location, please let me know in the comments section below. Alright everyone, thank you so much for watching this edition of the Unexplored Mojave. If you have any recommendations for a future location, please post them in the comments section below. And, as always, until next time.